Hey guys, it's Christian here. Today I'm going to be making a very short video, and it's a concept that's super important for guys who are, 0 to 5K per month, or maybe they're at 5K per month, but they want to hit 10K or 20K per month. This video is going to be very valuable to you because it's going to help you like not only just improve faster and make progress quicker than you would on your own, but it's also going to like take away like a limiting belief or a mental block that a lot of people have nowadays, right? It's because a lot of people online will tell you that reading books is a waste of time, that, reading audiobooks or, watching YouTube videos is kind of a waste of time. Like a lot of people, especially gurus, will tell you that there's no value in, reading books because books are outdated. Books, show very general information, right? Information that's not necessarily applicable to your business model or to this online skill. And that's kind of true, right? The books that you read nowadays, about money or entrepreneurship or business or economics, the reason why they're so broad in general is because they're meant to be timeless, right? They're meant to like transcend, business models or like markets or even like economies, right? So that's why they're really general, but they're still very valuable. There's still a lot of nuggets and a lot of gems to extract from reading books or from like audiobooks or, documents or whatever it is, right? That you read. There's a lot of value in this. And yes, it's true what a lot of gurus say or what a lot of business mentors will tell you nowadays that it's valuable to learn, but what's really important now is to like focus on actually, taking action and moving the needle forward, right? Because there's a lot of people out there that maybe they'll spam watch a lot of videos, maybe they'll read a ton of books, but they never get started with the business. They never actually send any outreach messages. They never actually go ahead and record any content, right? They're always like in this position of learning and like basically just procrastinating, right? So I'm not saying to do that, right? I'm not saying to just spend all your time learning and, feeling like you're making progress, but you're actually not. And I also understand that it's actually really important. And one of the biggest difference makers between the guys who stay at zero, $0 made per month or 3K per month versus the guys who make 10K or 20K or even more than that is that they take action, right? That's what probably one of like the biggest difference makers is the amount of action and how fast they take action. So there's no denying that what people tell you that you should focus on taking action and actually moving the needle forward is important. And I agree with that. Like you definitely should be taking action. You definitely should not just be reading books and never doing anything and never actually, doing any business tasks. I'm not saying you to do that. What I'm saying is that yes, go ahead and take the action. Go ahead and actually do the business tasks you should be doing. Go ahead and actually make motion, actually like move the business forward, actually do something productive, not just like learn and read all the time. Go ahead and do that, but also take a step back and realize that, education, especially self-education and having mentors and just learning is extremely valuable, right? Because if you think about it with books, right, the smartest people in human history that ever lived like 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, or even more than that, the smartest people ever in entire human history from all over the world have written their knowledge and like the concepts they've discovered inside books, right? Because back then they didn't have YouTube videos, back then they didn't have audiobooks, back then the only way for them to teach you and pass down their information was with books, right? So there's like a wealth of knowledge that you can find in books and tons of things that maybe you could figure out on your own, but it will take years. It'll just take a long time. But with books, you can kind of shortcut your learning curve. You can shortcut like the speed where you learn in which you learn things, and you can also expose yourself to new ideas. That's why reading is super valuable because you can kind of curate what goes into your mind, right? You can choose what books you're reading. You can choose what your mentors with books and audiobooks, right? So it's super valuable. I recommend you guys to, whether whichever is easier for you, right? Read books or audiobooks and just focus on learning more, right? There's so much knowledge out there. Don't be too big headed. Don't think that you know everything. Don't think that there's nothing to learn for you, nothing there for you to learn. Go ahead and just like pick books that you're going to find valuable, books that you find interesting and you believe are going to help you, right? If you have no clue what books to read, just ask ChatGPT what books, give some details and context on who you are, and just ask it for like book recommendations. If you have no clue where to start, you can start with that. But anyways, that's just books and audiobooks, video courses, videos on YouTube. There's tons of like resources on YouTube or online and, tons of video courses that you can get by joining a $99, school community or even like joining like a high ticket program, like a 5K, or even a 10K program. You get access to so much course knowledge, to like weekly calls, mentors, whatever it is that you find best for your situation, for your budget. just focus on learning more, right? Don't be afraid to spend money on learning, because the thing about learning about, like, self-education is that it's something that you get to keep with you forever, right? It's not like you're gonna, spend 5K on this, program and then forget the knowledge. The things you learn, the people you met inside this, coaching program, even if it's 5 or 10K, that's gonna stick with you, right? It's gonna transform the way you think. It's gonna reframe what you think is possible. It's gonna expose you to new ideas. It's gonna maybe even allow you to meet new people inside the coaching program. So there's a lot of like value in joining these programs. You might just see the 5K that you have to spend. You might see the 10K price and think like, wow, this is a lot of money. But you have to look beyond that, right? Because after you invest this 5K, think about all the things that could happen, right? You can meet, valuable connections. You can meet valuable people. You can learn very valuable things that change the way that you view business forever, or just like change the way that you view life in a very impactful way. So don't look just at the price, and look at the cost, and look at like, all these things like that. Look at what you can gain. Like, look at the upside, right? See what you can gain and what you can benefit from, investing in this course, in this coaching program. And overall, like, the whole concept of this video that I'm making for you guys right now is I just want to remind you guys like how important it is to just like self-educate, just learn more, right? Because as an entrepreneur, you're not really getting paid for your physical labor, right? Because most of it is online nowadays. And you're also not getting paid to clock in or log hours. You're getting paid for like the value you can provide, right? It's not so much about your physical labor or the time, right? Because you're not getting paid hourly, right? You're getting paid for the value you provide and like the amount of like impact you can have, right? And the more knowledge you have, the more experience you have, the better skilled you are, the more money you'll be able to make, because you'll be able to help the businesses more. You'll be able to make better content. Let's say, for example, you're a content creator, your content's going to be better. It's going to entertain, inform, and educate a lot more people, right? Because you'll know how to make better hooks. You'll learn how to make, more entertaining videos, how to capture people's attention and keep the attention, how to just, inform and give as much free value as possible with a video. And these things are, yes, you're going to learn them with trial and error and experience. There's a lot of things you can learn just by reading books, reading guides, having mentors, getting coaching, right? It's going to accelerate the process of you learning. It's just going to make things faster, right? So there's so much value in learning and investing in like actually like, self-education and courses. So pretty much that's why I wanted to make this video, because I just wanted to remind you how important it is, right? Because you're an entrepreneur and you need to understand that what you know and the skills you have and the experience you have over time, that's what actually gets you paid, right? That's what makes the market reward you, right? The market doesn't reward you for, like I said, your physical labor, your time, how smart you are, how nice you are, whatever it is, right? That's not what actually gets you paid. What gets you rewarded by the market, by the economy, by the other businesses, by the public, by the followers that you have, whatever it is that you're doing with your business, right? You get rewarded based on the value you provide. And you're going to be able to provide way more value if you read books, audiobooks, you have video courses, you have mentors, you invest in your self-education. You'll be able to build yourself up faster and greater than you could by just trying to do everything on your own and trying to do everything with trial and error. So again, guys, want to really like hammer down this point is you have to be investing in yourself. You have to be learning, because that's what entrepreneurship, that's actually what moves the needle. That's actually what makes you more valuable. That's what separates you from other people. It's not that these people are more talented than you by nature or they're genetically better than you. No, they just spend more time learning. They spend more time building up their, knowledge base. They became more skilled. They just got more experience. They just know more than you, and they know more valuable things than you, right? So remember, guys, you can kind of like decide how much money you're going to make. You can decide how valuable you are to the market just by focusing on your education, right? And how much you know and how good you are, right? That's something that you control 100%. And one of the best ways to, improve that and to, build that up is with self-education courses and just overall learning more, right? So anyways, guys, I don't want to make this video too long. I just wanted to come in here and basically, drop this content with you, give you some gems, explain to you why it's so important to always be learning and always be improving. And anyways, guys, if you guys found the video valuable, make sure you like the video, because it's going to, tell the algorithm that the video is really good, and it's going to recommend it to more people, and more people will be able to get the value that I give in these videos. But another thing too, if you enjoy watching these type of videos and you like the content that I'm posting on this channel, make sure you subscribe, because I'm posting videos every single Monday and Friday. And if you're subscribed to the channel, Make sure you also have the notifications on. This way you won't miss a single upload. But anyways, guys, make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.